Hey guys, so I'm gonna talk today and show you how to make Rejuvelac. This has been an incredible experience for me making Rejuvelac. I used to do the over-the-counter probiotics. This is much stronger. The stuff that you buy over the counter is not really fresh probiotics. It's more like a Band-Aid. It goes in the stomach a little bit and helps out, but the fresh Rejuvelac, making your own probiotics is the best. The reason I don't use the ones from the stores like the kombucha and things like that is because it has a lot of mold in it. So if you want the best, make it yourself. It's really not that difficult. So what you're gonna need is soft white wheat berries are the best, but any wheat berries will work, or any grain really. There's a couple of grains, and I'll list them down below. But the best one is wheat berries, and I know people who've had gluten sensitivity and have used these and they were fine. But if you are worried about gluten, quinoa can be used also. You're gonna need like a bowl jar. You can use a larger one, or this size is the size that I use. It makes a lot for one person. So what we're gonna do first is you're just gonna take one of these bowl jars, and you're gonna fill up the wheat berries about a quarter of the way. Okay, so that looks okay. All right, and I'm just gonna hold it up for you. And then what you're gonna do is just fill it up with water, like that. Okay. Now you have your water filled with wheat berry. This is actually a little bit too much, what I put in here. You can use less, but you'll adjust it and get used to doing it how you like it on your own. But it's about a third and 3 times the amount of water. Now I'm gonna take this cheesecloth over here, and I'm gonna cover it like so. Okay, and I'm gonna let this sit for about 8 to 10 hours in a dark room temperature place. So I just put it in the cabinet like this, and then leave it there, usually the night before. And then in the morning, I'm gonna come back, and I'm going to empty out the water that's in here. Emptied out the water, and all I'm gonna do is I wanna basically keep these as clean as possible, the wheat berries. So I'm gonna fill it up with fresh new water. This is filtered water, by the way. Should not be using sink water. Sink water has contaminants in it. So you want to use either freshly filtered water or bottled spring water. Refill it, put it back in the cabinet again, about 8 to 10 hours. So after about 24 hours, so you probably rinsed it 2 or 3 times by now, okay? And you're keeping the water inside each time. You're gonna empty out all the water on the 3rd time after 24 hours. And I'm gonna place it in a dark cabinet upside down, like so. I just put a napkin in it just to capture the water, and I just place it like that. And I put it in a dark place, and it's gonna sit here again for 8 to 10 hours. Every 8 to 10 hours, I'm going to pull it out of the cabinet, rinse it off. So I'm gonna fill it with water, fill this back up, and I'm gonna shake the beans around, and I'm gonna empty out the water. You don't want any water in here when it's sitting upside down. So I'm gonna do that about 3-4 more times over the next day or two. And then I'm going to see, when I pull it out of the cabinet, I'm gonna see that it's starting to sprout, okay? So you get these little seedlings going, okay? These are already sprouted a day or two, so they're pretty big, but you'll see them start smaller and get bigger. Once I begin to see the white, once I begin to see the sprouting, what I do is I fill it up with water, the sprouts, and I will cover it like so. Now, I want the sprouted water is what's gonna make the probiotics. So I'm gonna leave it like this, again, 8 to 10 hours in a dark place, okay? And when I pull it back out, now I'm going to start to see something very interesting. I'm going to start to see that the water looks alive. So you can actually see the bubbles. It's got like a kind of lemonade look, and it's got like, bubbling in there. Good. And this is live fresh probiotics. Okay. And I'm gonna fill it in a jar. You could drink it fresh from here, from this stage, or you can put it in a jar and put it in the fridge. I like to use it in 24 hours of it being made. But you know, some people say you can use it up to 2 weeks. In my personal opinion, there's nothing better than using it in the first 24 hours. You drink it fresh in the morning before you eat anything, with food, with the first meal of the day, tends to have the best effect. All right, thank you for watching.